Anyone else feel like the current mental health crisis going is largely caused by capitalism? Record low value for our labor and record profits for companies plus high cost of living that isn't in line with what people actually make. It isn't realistic anymore to continue like this. The ultimate ending for this is any job that isn't taken over by robots is going to wind up too expensive to actually work. I see so many job offerings and positions that fail to get filled because the pay is just way too low. All these jobs that are so essential to our society functioning are paid starvation wages, so nobody goes to work them anymore. I know money can't buy happiness, but I feel like if we could all live comfortably and meet our basic needs without working ourselves to death, then the whole world would be a significantly brighter place. At this point, things are feeling hopeless. At best, I feel like I'm going to be forever stuck living poor on all sorts of financial aid. And these systems are set up entirely to keep you poor, making just ever so slightly above a certain threshold. There goes your medical insurance, food stamps, etc. I hate it here. Yes, it kind of helps me to know that it isn't my fault my future looks so bleak. It's tragically funny that my existence would be completely different if I just made like $30 an hour instead of what I make now. That's it. That is the only reason I'm so worried and scared all of the time. I work full-time and everything I do is for my wife and kids. But it's just not enough to do the right thing anymore. I'm not a failure. This system is failing us. You mean how health insurance is tied to having a job? So if you're being exploited, the thought of quitting is also stressful because it means that you are on the hook for some expensive-ass medicine? Evidence for this thesis is starting to accumulate in the social sciences. And I say that with no disrespect to sociology, which has been screaming it for decades. But more recent analysis in neuroscience, developmental, and clinical psych with better evidence from modern populations is making inroads. Absolutely. Have been saying it for years. Nothing more depressing than knowing you're going to be working, and under these conditions, until the day you die. I think it is. People can't afford mental health care at all right now. I live comfortably, but have no health insurance. I can have health insurance and nothing else, or have a life and no health insurance. It would be $500 a month, with a discount, and $10,000 deductible. With me and my husband not having any major health issues. We don't go to the doctor to find out either. It's cheaper this way. Insurance would only help us currently if we were majorly injured or developed a long-term expensive illness. My grandmother is in her 70s and lives alone. I am the only one here for her. She's getting old and falling and is getting where she can't take care of herself. She needs to be in a nursing home realistically, or assisted living. Nursing homes here are so understaffed, they have one person per 40+ residents. There was someone who worked at a local one and posted pictures of a lot of neglect from the facility on the local Facebook page this year. Can't send her there. Can't send her to an assisted living and it be much better than her current situation either. Can't afford home aid assistance because it's $30 an hour. I'm left to decide to dedicate my life to my grandmother or throw her into a nursing home to deteriorate and die. I've never seen my old teachers post on Facebook Amazon wish lists for supplies because they can't afford them anymore. Stuff like calculators and computer adapters. Things you would think the schools would supply. Good luck finding a job here without a degree for more than 11. General managers of food places and retail make 11 to 13 here normally per hour. Even if you have money for a house, you can't find one. I know so many people wanting to move that literally can't because there's nothing available. My cousin is an 18-year-old girl. working 70 hours a week to afford a literal 2-bedroom shed, house thing and a car payment. I visited her last month and noticed her legs were very swollen and one was purple. I had to pay out of my pocket for her to even go to urgent med. She thought she was going to lose her house if she took 2 days off work to heal. Walmart was going to fire her if she took 2 days off with a doctor's note provided. She worked so much. She messed up her legs. And they won't even give her time to heal from it for 2 days and refused her a chair as a cashier. Yeah, we are all depressed. Even people like me, who seem fine. We are having to take up the extra slack to help people stay afloat in situations that are grim. I would go so far as to say many people diagnosed with a mental illness, particularly depression, are not actually sick, but having a healthy and normal reaction to a tortuous existence.
Yes. Yes, I do.
1,000,000%, we aren't meant to live like this. I think what you said above, combined with the long-standing reluctant welfare state in the United States, has led to a breaking at the seams for more than just the fringes of society. I see it every day working in community mental health. Socioeconomic level, in my opinion, is such a predictor to trauma, educational outcomes, substance use issues, anxiety, depression and economic mobility. Then they're on their own at 18 according to insurance companies. What would you do if you were free from capitalism? Exercise. Learn a trade. Fix up your living situation. Spend more time doing hobbies in general? Instead of that, you work 40+ hours a week, if you are lucky, and outsource most of that fun and rewarding non-capitalism stuff. There's more to it than that. Tons of trauma and unaddressed mental health. Toss in a pandemic and lots of time. Internet disinformation accompanied by algorithms that are irresponsibly designed to draw people into the rabbit hole, just so they spend more time there for ad revenue. It's a perfect setup for failure, and Trump doesn't care. He stokes the flames just for the grift. Wait, the disingenuous gaslighting doesn't produce healthy populace. WHAAAAAT? My friend and I were just discussing this the other day. We both suffer from anxiety and depression. It has gotten worse as time went on. Not knowing if you will make next month's rent because you got sick. It causes you to be anxious. Watching your bank account dwindle because your car broke down and you need the car to get to work. Anxiety-inducing. Skipping meals to make ends meet, so your child can have one more meal. Depressing. Looking at all your bill payments. How hard it is to get food. And your wage not keeping up. Depressing. We both work in an overworked industry. We also work in an emotionally charged industry. Yet, we cannot afford to take time off to recoup and rest. Absolutely. And saw an article a few months back about people saying we needed better antidepressants in the face of this crisis. Like, no. We need to make living conditions and working conditions better across the board. You cannot therapy your way out of the effects of poverty. And even trying costs money too. Me too.
100%.
Yes, quit Amazon 'cause I couldn't handle it and got put on an SNRI. Oh, I don't just feel like it is, I know it is. Yes. I think this will be viewed as a period of insane overprescribing, and a lot of what passes as chemical imbalance will be viewed like how we think about phrenology today. One day. And they've got the majority of people conned into believing they can't possibly pay higher wages. Or all the businesses will go bust, and that might be true for the small businesses. But the mega corporations also pay the bare minimum. Can then afford to undercut the small businesses. So they go under anyway. Just from a different route. all while the mega-rich just accumulate more wealth than they can ever spend. Just to add to the scorecard, happy to pay billions to crush a competing business to sustain their monopoly, but not to pass on their profits and pay a fair wage to their workers. The media has the middle class believing one day they will join the 1%. So they're keen on the status quo, because I'm above poor and I don't want to lose my ticket to the next level. Even though they are far more likely to slip down a rung than go up one. Much closer to losing everything than gaining it. The world would be so much better if essentials, food, water, healthcare, housing, energy were provided by the government from taxes, rather than money-grubbing corporations with no care but the bottom line, charging what they want. But it seems a pipe dream from here.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.